Hello, I'm William Shakespeare. I bet you thought I was dead. Well, I actually did too, but I'm not. How are you hearing my voice right now? I'm not even sure, but somebody gave me something to talk into, and I'm doing it. So, here we are. Have you ever wanted to learn the story of Cymbeline? It's one of my lesser-known plays. Oh, you don't? I thought you would. I still think we should do it since we're here. What you are about to see is my classic creation brought to life by the finest group of middle school actors ever to grace Zoom, which I don't know what it is. Now, if you are a scholar, you might see some characters you didn't know were in this play, like a extra doctor called Quantivius, and a third brother, Marius, or a fabulous all-girl chorus, the Muses, or a second villain, Iago, who was taken out of Othello, one of my other more famous plays. Basically, it's because we have 29 actors, and I wanted them to all have good parts. So why don't you just go with it? Sit back, relax, grab your favorite quarantine snacks, and enjoy Cymbeline, King of Britain by me.
You do not meet a man for friends.
But what's the matter?
Cymbeline's daughter and the heir of his kingdom.
Who he purposed to his wife's sole son, a widow that late he married, hath offered herself unto a poor but worthy gentleman. She's wedded.
She's in prison. I think the king be touched at very heart.
He that hath lost her too, so is the queen.
He that hath missed the princess is a thing too bad for bad report.
And he that hath her, that married her, is a creature such as to seek through the regions of the earth, for one his life, there should be something failing in him that should compare.
What's his name and birth?
His father was called Cecilius, who did join his honor against the Romans with Cymbeline. He served with glory and remarkable success, so gained the erudition Leonidas. Leonidas had, besides these two men in question, two other sons, who in the war all the time died with their swords in hand, for which their father, then old and fond of issue, took such sorrow that he quit being.
The king takes the babe to his protection, calls him Posthumous Leonidas. He lives in the court, most praised, most loved, a sample of the youngest, most finest, more mature glass that feedeth.
But pray you tell me, is Imogen sole child to the king?
His only child, he had 3 sons. If this be worth you hearing, mark it. From their nursery they were stolen, and to this hour no guessing knowledge which way they went.
How long is this ago?
Some 20 years.
20 years.
That a king's children should be so conveyed,
So slackly guarded, and the search so slow that could not chase them.
We must forbear. Here comes the gentleman, the queen, and the princess.
So, did you get all that? The king's daughter, Imogen, married the guy she loves against her father's will, and the queen wanted her son to marry Imogen. So, no one is happy. Well done, everyone. Oh, and also, the king had his 3 sons stolen several years ago when they were infants, and they are still missing to this day. You'll need to remember that for later.
I'll set you turn about the garden, pitying the pangs of part affections, though the king hath charged you should not speak together.
My dearest husband, you must be gone, and I shall hereby be hourly shot, of angry eyes, not comforted to live. But that there is this jewel in the world I may see again.
My queen, my mistress, O lady, weep no more. My risens in woe met one Philarios, who to my father was a friend. Thither write, my queen, and with mine eyes I'll drink the words you send.
Be brave, I pray you. If the king come, I shall cure I know not of such his displeasure. Yet I'll move him to walk this way.
Adieu.
Nay, stay a little. Look here, love. This dime's my mother's. Take it, heart, and keep it till you woo another wife when Imogen is dead.
How another? Remain thou here, and sweetest fairest. For mine's sake, wear this. Is a manacle of my love. I'll place it upon this fairest prisoner.
Oh, the gods, when shall we see again?
Alack, the king!
Oh, disloyal thing, that shouldst repair my youth, thou heaps a year's age in me.
The gods protect you, and bless the good remains of the court. I'm gone.
There cannot be a pinch in death more sharp than this is.
That mice have had the soul sought of my queen.
Oh, bless that I might not. I chose an eagle, and did avoid a patach.
Thou tookest the beggar. Wouldst have had my throne, a seat of baseness.
No, I rather added the luster to it.
Without vile one.
Sir, it is your fault that I love Posthumus. You bred him as my playfellow.
What, art thou mad, thou foolish thing? Take her away and pen her up.
Beseech your patience, peace. Dear lady daughter, peace. Leave us to ourselves, and make yourself some comfort out of your best advice.
Nay, let her languish, a drop of blood a day, and being aged, die.
Ooh, did you catch that? As symbols of their love, Posthumus gave Imogen a bracelet and she gave him a ring. But Cymbeline doesn't like Posthumus, and the queen, well, she has some schemes of her own. This is her son now.
Sir, I would advise you to shift the shirt. The violence of action have made you reek like a sacrifice. When air comes out, air comes in. There's none abroad so wholesome as that you vent.
If my shirt were bloody, think to sift it. Have I heard him? I would it had not come between us. And that she should love this fellow and refuse me? Would there have been some hurt done?
I wish not so, unless I had been the fall of an ass, which is no great hurt.
You'll go with us.
We'll attend your lordship.
Nay, let's go together.
That such a crafty devil as his mother should yield the world this ass, a woman that barrels her down with her brain. And this her son cannot take 2 from 20, his heart and leave 18.
After the king banished Posthumus, he fled to Rome to stay with a friend of his father's, a guy called Philario. I'm sorry, Philario.
Believe it, sir. I've seen him in Britain.
You speak of him when he was less furnished than now. He was wit that makes him both without and within.
I have seen him in French. We have many who can behold the sun with as firm eyes as he. This the matter of he marrying the king's daughter, and then his banishment.
How comes he is so sojourn with you?
How crave some acquaintance?
His father and I were soldiers together, to whom I've been often bound for no less than my life. Here comes the Briton. Let him be so entertained amongst you as suits, the gentleman of your knowing to a stranger of his quality. I beseech you all, be better known to this gentleman, to whom I commend a noble friend of mine. How worthy he is I will leave to appear hereafter, rather than story him in his own hearing.
Sir, we have known together in Orleans.
Since when I have been debtor to you for courtesies.
Sir, you overrate my poor kindness.
By your pardon, sir, I was then a young traveler. My quarrel was not altogether slight.
Can we with manners ask what's the difference?
It was much like an argument that fell out last night. We fell in praise to our country mistresses. This man at that time, voicing among bloody affirmations, is to be more fair, virtuous, wise, chaste, constant, qualified, and less attainable than any of the rarest of our ladies in France.
That lady is not now living.
He holds her virtues still, and I my mind.
You must not so far prefer for hours of Italy. That diamond of yours outlusters many I have beheld. I cannot but believe she filled many, but I had not seen the most precious diamond that is, nor you the lady.
I praised her as I rated her, so do I my stone.
What do you esteem it at?
Either your own paragon mistress is dead, or she's outprized by a trifle.
You are mistaken.
You may wear her and title yours, but you know, strange fowl light upon neighboring ponds.
Your ring may be stolen too, a cunning thief, or a that way accomplished courtier would hazard the winning of both first and last.
Your Italy contains none so accomplished. A courtier to convince the honor of my mistress? I do nothing doubt you have store of thieves. Notwithstanding, I fear not my ring.
Let us leave here, gentlemen.
Sir, with all my heart.
With 5 times so much conversation, I should get ground of your fair mistress. Had I admittance, an opportunity to friend.
No.
I dare thee pawn the moiety of my estate to your ring, which in my opinion overvalues it something, but I make my wager rather against her confidence than her reputation.
Sir, I durst attempt it against any lady in the world.
You both are a great deal abused in too bold persuasion.
Gentlemen, enough of this.
It came in too suddenly. Let it die as it was born.
I pray you, be better acquaintance.
What lady would you choose to assail?
Yours whom in constancy you think stands so safe. I will lay you 10,000 ducats to your ring, that commend me to the court where your lady is, with no more advantage than the opportunity of a second conference. And I will bring from thence that honor of hers which you imagine so reserved. You are afraid. I am a master of my speeches, and when undergo when spoken, I swear.
Will you? I shall but lend my diamond to your return. Here's my ring.
I will have it no way.
If I bring you no sufficient testimony that I have kissed your mistress, 10,000 of my ducats are yours.
So is your diamond too. If I come off and leave her in such honor that you have trust in, she your jewel, this your jewel, and my gold are yours.
I embrace these conditions. If either of you make your voyage upon her and give me directly to understand you have prevailed, I am no further enemy. She is not worth our debate. If she remain faithfully mine, you shall answer me with your sword.
Your hand's a covenant.
And straight away for Britain, lest the bargain should catch cold and starve.
I will have all your wagers recorded. Will this hold? Thank you.
Signors Giacomo and Iago will not from him. Pray, let us follow him.
Meanwhile, back in England, the Queen is up to no good. That's Cornelius, the royal doctor, and his assistant, Quintavius.
Now, Master Doctor, have you brought those drugs?
Pleasant, your highness, I hear they are, madam. But I beseech your grace on wherefore you have commanded me those most poisonous compounds which are the movers of a languishing death.
I wonder, Doctor, thou askest me such a question. Dost thou think me devilish? I will try the forces of these compounds on creatures, non-human, and try and apply layman's to their act, and by them gather their several virtues and effects.
Your highness, shall from this practice make hard your heart. Besides, seeing these effects will be both noisome and infectious.
Oh, content thee.
Your Highness.
Your Majesty.
Pray you, madam. Here come 3 flattering rascals. How now, Paisonio? What news? Doctor, your service for this time has ended.
I do suspect you, madame, but you shall do no harm.
Heard thee a word.
I do not like her. She saw things she has strangely green poison. I do know her spirit and will not trust one of her mouths with a drug of such damn nature.
Those she has will stupefy and dull the sense a while, which first perchance shall prove on cats and dogs, and then afterward up higher.
No further service, Doctor, until I send for thee.
Humbly take my leave.
So, you got that, right? The Queen asked those doctors to make poison for her so she could test it out on animals, poisoning them, then reviving them. Basically, torturing animals. Charming woman. I mean, who does that? Maybe the Tiger King? Luckily, the doctors saw right through her. Instead of poison, what they actually did was make a sleeping potion that makes someone only appear dead. I wonder how that'll work out later. Oh, and those 3 other people talking to her? That's Pi, Zan, and Neo, 3 loyal servants of Posthumus. The Queen is going to try to give the poison to them, hoping they'll give it to Posthumus or even to Imogen. Not very nice.
Oops. Here, madam. Thou takest up, thou knowst not what, but take it for thy labor. It is a thing I had made, which has 5 times more redeemed from death. I do not know what is more cordial. Tell thy mistress how this case stands with her, and I'll move the king to any shape of thy preferment, such as thou desire. Think on my words. 3 slying constant knaves, not to be shaked, their agents for their master. Fare thee well, Paisonio. Think on my words.
And shall do.
But whence, my good lord, we prove untrue.
We'll choke ourselves. There's all we'll do for you.
So, remember that bet the men placed in Rome to see if Iachimo or Iago could steal Imogen from Posthumus? Well, Iachimo and Iago quickly made their way to England to try to win over Imogen with their words. They failed miserably. She turned them down. So, they decided to sneak into her room in the middle of the night in 2 big trunks, which they asked her to store for safekeeping. Very clever.
I have read 3 hours. Mine eyes are weak. I'll fold down the leaf where I have left to bed. To your protection I commend thee, gods, from fairies and the tempters of the night.
The crickets sing, and man's overlabored sense repairs itself by rest. Cytherea, oh, how bravely thou becomest thy bed.
'Tis her breathing that perfumes the chamber thus. The flame, oh, the taper bows toward her, and would underpeep her lids. To the seething closed lights, now canopied under these windows, white and interlaced with blue of heaven's own tinct.
But our design.
Yes. To note the chamber, I will write all down. Such and such pictures. There the window. Ah, such as the adornment of her bed.
Ah, but some napkin notes about her body.
Come on. 'Tis mine. And this will witness outwardly as strongly as the conscience does within to the maddening of her lord.
No more. We have enough. To the trunk again, and shut the spring of it. Swift, swift, you dragons of the night, that dawning may bear the raven's eye. I lodge in fear, though this a heavenly angel, hell is here.
The next morning, Imogen wakes up, and she has no idea that Giacomo and Iago have been there. She gets another visitor. It's Cloten, who is once again attempting to win her love, even though she is already married and she despises him. He just doesn't get it, does he?
Hark, hark, the lark at heaven's gate sing, and Phoebus' gins arise. His steeds to water at those springs on chaliced flowers that lies. And winking merry buds begin to open their golden eyes. With everything that pretty is, my lady sweet arise. With everything that pretty is, my lady sweet arise.
I said a hip hop, the hip hop, you don't stop. Rock it out, baby, rubber to the boogity bang bang, the boogie to the boogity beat. Now what you hear is not a test. I'm rapping.
Good morrow, fair sister. Your sweet hand.
Good morrow, sir.
Still, I swear, I love you.
I pray you, spare me.
I will not.
I am much sorry, sir. Learn now for all that I, which know my heart, do here pronounce. I care not for you, I hate you.
You sin against obediency, which you owe your father. For the contract you pretend with that base wrench. It is no contract, none. The South Frog rot him.
His meanest garment is dearer in my respect than all the hairs above thee.
His garments? Now the devil his garments.
Then Imogen suddenly realizes that she is missing her bracelet that Posthumus gave her, a jewel that too casually left her
I must
arm.
search for a jewel too casually. I've left mine arm.
She did think she saw it this morning.
I do think I saw it this morning.
Confident she was last night, 'twas on her arm.
I'm confident that last night 'twas on my arm.
You have abused me. His meanest garments. I will inform your father.
Your mother too, sir. I leave you.
I'll be revenged. His meanest garments well.
Back in Rome, Giacomo and Iago have returned.
I must die much your debtor.
Your very goodness and your company overpays all I can do. See? Giacomo and Iago have returned.
I hope the briefness of your answer meets the speediness of your return.
Your lady's one of the fairest that I've looked upon. Here are letters.
Was Caius Lucius in the Britain court when you were there?
He was expected then, but not approached.
Sparkles this stone as it was wont, or is not too dull for your good wearing?
I'll make a journey twice as far to enjoy a second night of such sweet shortness. which was mine in Britain. For the ring is one.
The stone's too hard to come by.
Not a whit, your lady being so easy.
I hope you know we must not continue friends.
Oh, but good sir, we must. First her bedchamber, where I confess, I slept not, but professed had that was well worth watching. The ceiling, it was hanged with tapestry of silk and silver. The story, proud Cleopatra, when she met her Roman.
This is true.
This you might have heard here by him or some other.
The chimney is south the chamber. The chimney piece, chaste Diane bathing. The roof over the chamber with golden cherubims is spreaded. Her andirons, I had almost forgot them, were 2 winking cupids of silver.
Let it be granted that you both have seen all of this. The description of what is in her bedchamber. Nothing saves the wager that you have laid.
Then if you can, be pale. I beg but leave heir to this jewel, see? And now 'tis up again. Oh, it must be married to that your diamond.
I'll keep it.
Jove!
She gave it to me and said she prized it once.
Oh, no. 'Tis true. Here, take this too. It is a basilisk unto mine eyes. Kills me to look on't.
Who knows if one of her women, being corrupted, hath stolen it from her?
Very true. Back my ring, for this was stolen.
By Jupiter, I had it from her arm.
Mark you, he swears. By Jupiter, he swears.
'Tis true. Nay, keep the ring. 'Tis true. I am sure of it. She would not lose it. Her attendants are all sworn and honorable. No, he hath enjoyed her love.
For further satisfying, under her arm lies a mole, right proud, of most delicate lodging. You do remember the stain upon her?
Aye, and it doth confirm another stain, as large as hell can hold.
Will you hear more?
Oh, that I had her here to tear her limb meal! I'll go there and do it. In the court, before her father, I'll do something!
Quite besides the government of patience.
You have won. Come, let us prevent the wrath that he have against himself.
With all our hearts.
Back in England again. Yes, this place switches locations a lot. We have a visitor from Rome come in to see the king. It's Caius Lucius, and he's got a message from the Roman emperor.
What would Augustus Caesar with us?
When Julius Caesar was in this brand and conquered it, Cymbeline, thine uncle, famous in Caesar's prisons, for him and his succession granted Rome a tribute, yearly 3,000 pounds, which by thee lately is left untendered.
And to kill the marvel shall be so ever. There be many Caesars, ere another Julius. Britain is a world by itself, and we will nothing pay for wearing our own noses.
Washington pay tribute.
If Caesar could hide the sun from us with a blanket, or put the moon in his pocket, we'll pay tribute for light.
Caesar's ambition did put the yoke upon us, which to shake off we become more like people, whom we reckon ourselves to be.
I'm sorry, Cymbeline, that I am to pronounce Augustus Caesar. Caesar that hath more kings his servants than thyself domestic officers, thine enemy. Receive it from me then. War and confusion in Caesar's name pronounced I against thee. Thus defied, I thank thee for myself.
Thou art welcome, Caius. I know your master's pleasure and he mine.
Since Cymbeline refuses to pay up, Rome declares war, so that's something. And in another part of the castle, Pi, Zan, and Neo have received a letter from Posthumus asking them to kill Imogen for him.
How? Of adultery?
Wherefore write you not? What monster is her accuser? Posthumus, O master, what a strange infection is fallen into thy ear?
What false Italian, as poisonous tongue has handed, hath prevailed on thy too ready hearing?
Disloyal, no. She'd punish for her truth and undergoes more goddess-like than wife-like, such assaults as would take in some virtue.
O my master, thy mind to her is now as low as were thy fortunes.
How, that we should murder her?
Upon the love and vows which we have made to thy command?
We her blood?
If it be to do good service, never let us be counted serviceable.
Do it. The letter that I have sent her, by her own command, shall give thee opportunity. Oh, damn paper! Black is the ink that's on thee.
Lo, here she comes!
Madam, here's a letter from my lord.
Oh, for a horse with wings! He is at Milford Haven. Provide me a presently riding suit.
Madam, your best consider.
Do as I bid thee, there's no more to say. Accessible is none but Milford way.
Okay, now we're going to meet a bunch of brand new characters. They live in a cave in the mountainous countryside of Wales, spelled W-A-L-E-S, not W-H-A-L-E-S, like the mammal, which is not a fish. It's a mammal. It's a whale.
Hail thou, fair heaven.
Hail heaven.
Hail heaven.
Hail heaven!
And now for our mountain sport. Up to yon hill. Your legs are young. I'll tread these flats. Oh, this life is nobler than attending for a check, richer than doing nothing for a bauble, and prouder than rustling in unpaid for silk.
We poor flechs have never winged the wilderness, nor know what is from home. Happily this life is best. If quiet life be sweeter to you that have a sharper nose, while corresponding with your stiff age, but unto us it is a cell of ignorance.
What should we speak of when we are as old as you? When shall we hear the wind and rain beat dark December howl? In this arcade shall we discourse the freezing hours away? We have seen nothing!
We are beastly, subtle as the fox for prey, like warlike as wolf for what we. Our valor is to chase what flies, as doth the prison bird, and sing our bondage free.
How now you speak? Up to the mountains. This is not hunter's language. He that strikes the venison first shall be the lord of the feast. Oh, how hard it is to hide the sparks of nature. These boys know little that they are sons of the king, nor Cymbeline dreams that they are alive. This Polydore, heir of Cymbeline in Britain, who his king, his father, called Guilderius. Jove! When I sit in my 3-foot stool and tell the warlike feats I have done, his spirits fly out. The princely blood flows in his cheek. He sweats, as do his brothers. Cadwal, once called Arviragus, and Rhys, was once called Marius. Hark! The game is roused. O Cymbeline, heaven my conscience knows thou did unjustly banish me. Wherein at 3, 2, and 1 I swole these babes, thinking to bar thee of succession, myself Belarius, that I am Morgan called, they take for natural father. The game is up.
Remember I said that the king's 3 sons were stolen as babies? Yeah, that's them. So, Imogen has happily traveled to Milford Haven to meet Posthumus, not knowing that Pi, Zon, and Neo were instructed to kill her in the woods. They eventually tell her the plan, and that it comes from her love, Posthumus, because he thinks she has been false to him.
False to him? What is it to be false? To sigh and wait and dream and think on him?
Alas, good lady.
O gracious lady, since we have received to do this business, we have not slept one wink.
Do it, and to bed then.
I'll wake mine eyeballs blind first. Good lady, hear me with patience. It cannot be but my master is abused.
Some villains, eye and singular in their art, have done you both this cursed injury.
We'll give by notice to our dead, and send him some bloody sign of it, for 'tis commanded we should do so. Ye shall be missed at court, and that will well confirm it.
What shall I do the where? Where bide? How live?
The ambassador, Lucius Roman, comes to Milford Haven tomorrow. You must forget to be a woman. Change.
Here is doublet, hat, hose, and all.
For noble Lucius present yourself, desires his service, for he is he will embrace you.
My noble mistress, here is a box. I had it from the queen. What's in it is precious. If you are sick at sea or stomach calmed at land, a dram of this will drive away distemper.
Okay, so Pi, Zon, and Neo didn't kill her. Phew. Instead, they helped disguise her as a man, thinking she can get a job with the Roman army, who are coming to fight the war. Zan also gives her the queen's potion to use as medicine. But remember, it's not medicine. It isn't poison either. It's just a sleeping potion. Back at the court, everyone has discovered that Imogen is missing. Cloten is particularly furious, as he demands to know the story from Pi, Zon, and Neo. They tell him she has traveled to Milford Haven to meet Posthumus. He decides to go after her.
Sirs, wilt thou serve me?
He will.
Hast any thy late master's garment in thy possession?
I have, my lord.
Fetch that suit hither.
I shall, my lord.
She said, upon a time, the bitterness of it I now belch from my heart. That she held the very garments of Posthumus in more respect than my noble and natural person. Those be the garments?
I, my noble lord.
Come and be true.
True to thee, were to prove false, which I will never be to him that is most true.
To Milford go, and find her not whom thou pursuest.
Flow, flow, you heavenly blessings on her. This full speed be crossed with slowness. Labor be his meed.
We that please some, try all, both joy and terror, of good and bad, that makes an unfelt error.
Now we take upon us, in the name of John, to use our wings, impudent, not a crime.
To us our swift passage that we slide, or 3 days hence, and leave the growth untried of that wide gap since it is in our power.
Your patience disallowing, we turn our glance and give the scene such growing as you have swept between.
Imagine us, gentle spectators, that we now may be again, high in the mountains. And remember well, the good king's daughter, Imogen.
We pray you disallow if ever you have had time, worser now.
If never as time himself doth say, we now wish earnestly, you never may.
Imogen, alone in the woods, is tired and hungry, and she stumbles upon the cave. She calls in to see if anyone is home, and not hearing anything, she goes in to find food, but the boys soon return from their hunt.
You, Polydor, have proved the best woodsman, and are the lord of the feast. Cavall, Reese, and I shall play the cooks and servants.
I am thoroughly weary.
I am weak with toil, yet strong in appetite.
There is cold meat in the cave. We'll browse on that, whilst what we have killed be cooked. Stay, come not in, but that eats our victuals. I would think here were a fairy. By Jupiter, an angel, or if not an earthly paragon, behold divineness no elder than a boy.
Good masters, harm me not. Here's money for my meat.
Money, youth?
Wizardbound, what's your name?
Fidele, sir.
Boys, bid him welcome.
Most welcome.
Feel sprightly, for you fall amongst friends.
I'll love him as my brother.
Would it had been so, that they had been my father's sons.
They are.
O mannerly demand thee of thy story.
They chat, get to know each other, and have an instant familial connection. They adopt Imogen as their new brother. As the day goes on, it's time for the brothers to go out hunting again, but Imogen, or Fideli, as she's calling herself, isn't feeling well, so they go out and leave her to rest in the cave. She takes a drink of the potion, which she thinks is medicine. Then, just as the boys are leaving for the hunt, Cloten appears, wearing one of Posthumus's coats.
I cannot find those renegades. That villain hath mocked me. I am faint. Soft, what slave art thou?
A thing more slavish than I near than answering. A slave without a knock.
Thou art a robber, a lawbreaker, a villain. Yield thee, thief.
Say what thou art. Why I should yield to thee?
Knowest me not by my clothes?
Thou art some fool. I am loath to beat thee.
Hear but my name, and tremble.
What's thy name?
Cloten, thou villain.
I cannot tremble at it. Were it toad, or adder, spider, 'twould move me sooner.
I am son to the queen. Art thou afeard?
At fools I laugh, not fear them. This Cloten was a fool, not Hercules. Could have knocked out his brains for he had none. Yet I'm not doing this. The fool had borne my head as I do his.
What hast thou done?
I am perfect what cut off one's Cloten's head.
We are all undone.
Why should we be so tempted to let an arrogant piece of flesh threat us? What company discover you abroad?
Not a single soul, but he must have some attendance. Perhaps it may be heard at the court that such as we, cave here, hunt here, are outlaws.
My brother hath done well.
With his own sword, which he did wave against my throat, I have taken his head from him.
I'll throw it into the creek, behind a rock, and let it to the sea, until the fishes sees the queen's son Cloten. That's all I reck.
I fear 'twill be revenged. Would Polydor, thou hast not done it. Now valor becomes thee well enough. Well, 'tis done. Yet, still, it's strange what Cloten's being here to us portends, or what his death will bring us.
Where are my brothers? For I have sent Cloten's cloth pulled down the stream.
The bird is dead that we have made so much on. I would have skipped from 16 years to 60 than to have seen this.
They discover Imogen, who, after taking the potion, appears dead. Shocked and saddened by this sudden loss, they decide to make a grave for their new quote-unquote brother and sing a song to honor him. Belarius suggests they also respectfully bury Cloten's headless body too, even though he was a complete jerk. So, they lay both bodies side by side, not knowing that Imogen isn't really dead.
Hear no more the heat of the sun, nor the furious winter rages, though thy worldly task has done. Home art gone and taken thy wages, golden lads and girls on us, as chimney sweepers come to
While
dust.
lovers must consign to thee and come to dust.
Yes, sir, to Upward Haven. Which is the way? Oh, gods and goddesses, I hope I dream. The palace of Posthumus, oh Posthumus. Alas, where is thy head? Where's that? I me, Pison and Neil. 'Tis was their deed and Cloten's. The drug they gave me. Have I not found it murderous to the senses? Oh, Posthumus, oh, Posthumus.
Soft, ho! What trunk is here without its top? The ruin speaks that sometimes it is a worthy building. How? A page, or dead, or sleeping on it, but dead rather. For nature doth abhor to make his bed, with the defunct, or sleeping upon the dead. Let's see the boy's face. He's alive! Young one, inform us of thy fortunes, for it seems they crave to be demanded. Who is he, that makest thy bloody pillow? Or who was he? What art thou?
I am nothing.
Thy name?
Fidele, sir.
Thy dost approve thyself the very same. Thy faith fits thy name. Wilt take thy chance with me?
I'll follow, sir, but first I'll hide my master from the flies.
Ah, good youth. My friends, the boy hath taught us manly duties. Let us find out the prettiest daisy plot we can, and make him, with our pikes and partisans, a grave. Come, arm him. Boy, he is preferred by thee to us, and shall be interred as soldiers can. Cheer up, wipe thine eye. Some falls are means, the happier to arise.
Caius Lucius takes Imogen, who he thinks is a boy, as a page in his company to go fight in the war, and the company marches on. A little while later, the brothers can hear the sounds of both armies preparing for war.
What pleasure, sir, find we in life to lock it from action and adventure?
Nay, what hope have we in hiding us?
Sons, we'll hire to the mountains. There secure us.
By this sun that shines, I thither, what things that I ever did see man die, scarce ever looked on blood, but that of coward hares, hot goats, and venison.
I never bestrode a horse. I am ashamed to look upon the holy sun, to have the benefits of its blessed beings, remaining so long before unknown.
By heavens, I'll go. If you will bless me, sir, and give me leave, I'll take the better care. But if you will not, the hazard therefore do fall on me by the hands of the Romans.
So say we, amen.
Amen.
Have with you, boys. If in your country wars you chance to die, that is my bed too, lads, and there I lie. Lead. Lead.
So they go off to join the war, fighting on the English side, and Posthumus has received a token from Pison and Neo, a bloody cloth. They wrote that it is Imogen's blood proof that they killed her, which was his command. Newsflash, they didn't.
Yea, bloody cloth, I'll keep thee, for I wished thou shouldest be colored thus. O Pison Neo, every good servant does not owe commands. Gods, if you had saved the noble Imogen to repent and struck me, wretch, more worth your vengeance. But alack, Imogen is your own. I am brought hither among the Italian gentry, and to fight against my lady's kingdom. 'Tis enough that, Britain, I have killed thy mistress. Peace. I'll give no wound to thee. I'll suit myself, as does a Briton peasant. I'll fight for thee, O Imogen.
The battle begins. Posthumus ends up saving the king's life on the battlefield, assisted by Bellarius, Guiderius, Aravagus, and Marius. But then they get separated, and Posthumus, still guilty of sending hitmen to kill his wife, decides to dress as a Roman and get himself captured on purpose. The victorious Britons take him to prison in chains. As he sleeps in prison, he has a most strange dream.
Ask my poor boy John well, whose face I never saw. I died whilst in the wound he'd stayed, attending nature's law.
Lucina lent not me her aid, but took me my throes. That from me was Posthumus ripped, came crying amongst his foes.
Oh, Jupiter, why did you have to suffer Iachimo and Iago to taint his nobler heart and brain with needless jealousy?
Then Jupiter, thou king of God, thy crystal window ope, look out. Take off his miseries, peep through thy marble mansion, help.
How dare you, ghost, accuse the thunder? Thunder, pour showers of Elysium, hints of rest, upon your never withering banks of flowers. Be content, your low blade son, our Godhead will. Our jovial star reigned at his birth, and in our temple was he married, rise and fade. So away, no further with your day. Express impatience, lest you stir up mind, mouth, eager to my palace, crystalline.
Thanks, Jupiter.
Thanks, Jupiter.
A book? A rare one? When as the lion's whelp shall to himself unknown without ceasing flying.
And he embraced by a piece of tender air.
And when from stately theater shall be lost the branches,
which being dead for many years shall after revive, be jointed to the old stall.
And freshly grow, then shall Posthumus and his misery. Britain be fortunate,
and flourish in peace and plenty.
Back in the English court, the king, after his victory in the war, knights the men who saved his life in battle.
By my side, you who the gods have made preservers of my throne. Woe is my heart, for the poor soldier who fought so richly cannot be found. To you, liver, heart, brain, and soul of Britain, bow your knees, arise, my knights of the battle.
Hail, great king! To tell your happiness, we must report. The queen is dead.
How ended she?
With horror madly dying like her life, which, being cruel to the world, concluded most cruel to herself. What she confessed, we will report. First, she confessed she never loved you. Was wife to your place, abhorred your person.
Proceed.
Your daughter, whom she bore in hand to love with such integrity, she did confess, was a scorpion you would sight, whose life, but that her flight prevented it, she had taken off by poison.
Is there more?
More, sir, and worse. She did confess she had you for a mortal mineral, which being took, should by the minute feed on life and lingering by inches waste you.
In which time she purposed her son into the adoption of the crown, but failing on her end by his strange absence, grew shameless desperate, repented the evil she hatched were not affected, till despairing died.
Mine eyes were not the fault, for she was beautiful. Oh, my daughter, heaven mend all.
The captured Roman soldiers are brought in. Amongst them are Iachimo, Iago, Posthumus, and Imogen, still disguised as a boy. Caius Lucius asks Cymbeline for one favor, to spare the boy, his page. Cymbeline grants this, and grants the boy an audience, not recognizing that it's his daughter. She points out Iachimo and Iago, who confessed that they tricked Posthumus.
Oh, come, oh, give me cord, or knife, or poison, some upright justicer. Let every villain be called Posthumus. O Imogen, my queen, my wife, my life.
Peace, my lord, here, here.
Thou scornful page, there lie thy part.
Oh my god.
Oh, gentlemen, help! Oh, my lord Posthumus, you near killed Imogen till now! Help! Help!
Does the world go round?
Wake, my mistress. How fares my mistress?
Thou gave me poison, dangerous fellow, hence.
The tune of Imogen!
Lady, the god throws stones of sulfur on me. If that box I gave you was not thought by me, a precious thing, I had it from the queen.
Oh God, they left out one thing. Which the queen confessed. If they have, she said, given their mistress that confection, which I gave then for Cordal, she served as I would serve a rat.
What's this, Cornelius?
The queen server often poured me the tempered poison for her.
We, dreading her purpose, did compound a certain stuff, which being taken would seize on the present power of life, but in a short time all offices of nature should do their due functions.
Brothers, there was our aim.
Why did you throw your wedded lady from you?
My child!
Cloten is gone. We know not where or how.
Lord Cloten, upon my lady's missing, came to us, with his sword drawn, foamed at the mouth, and swore, if we discovered not which way she went, it was our instant deaths.
By accident had I a fringed letter from Posthumus then in my pocket, which directed him to seek her on the mountain near to Milford.
In a frenzy, in Posthumus's garments, away he flows with oath to capture her. What came of him we further know not.
Let me end the story. I slew him there. I have spoke it, and I did it.
Oh my god.
Why?
He was a prince.
A most uncivil one. I cut off his head.
Blind the offender, and take him for our presence.
Not too hot, mighty sir. These three young gentlemen that call me father and think they are my sons are none of mine. They are the issue of your loins, my liege. These gentle princes, their nurse, stole these children upon my banishment. I moved her to it, but gracious sir, here are your sons again, and I must lose three of the sweetest companions in the world.
If these be they, I know not how to wish. Worthier sons. Gardarius had upon his neck a mole, a sanguine star, in mark of wonder.
This is he.
O Imogen, thou hast lost by this a kingdom.
No, my lord, I have got 3 worlds by it.
Let's quit this ground, and smoke the temple with our sacrifices. All overjoyed. Save these in bonds. Let them be joyful too, for they shall have the taste of our comfort.
Speak, Iago and Iachimo.
My heavy conscience sinks me to my knees. Take that life, which I so often owe, but your ring first.
And here, the bracelet of the truest princess that ever swore her faith.
Kneel not to me, but that the power I have on you is to spare you. Live, and do with others better.
Well, my peace we will begin. And being Caius Lucius, although the victor, we submit to Caesar and pay the Roman Empire, promising to pay our wonted tribute, from which we dissuaded by our wicked queen.
Good, my lord of Rome, call forth your soothsayer. As I slept, methought of Jupiter upon his eagle. Appeared to me, and when I waked, I found this label on my chest.
Bellarminus.
Here, my good lord.
Read and declare the meaning.
Thou posthumous Leonidas art the lion's whelp, the fit and apt construction of thy name, the piece of tender air, thy virtuous daughter, the lofty cedar, royal Cymbeline, personates thee, and thy lopped branches point thy 3 sons forth, who Belarius stolen for many years, thought dead, are now revived, to the majestic cedar joined, whose issue promises written peace and plenty.
The fingers of power do above tune the harmony of this piece.
Laud we the gods, and let our crooked smokes climb to their nostrils from our blessed altars.
Let Roman and British ensign wave friendly together, seal it with feast. Never was a war did cease, ere bloody hands were washed, with such a peace.
Now you know the whole story of Cymbeline, King of Britain. Now I recommend that you do what I often do at the end of my plays. Party hard!
Now give me one where it's like, oh, I'm going out of my mind. I can't believe this. Very well done.
I miss getting to meet everyone. Look, I meet you all now, but I miss meeting you guys all in person and reinforcement and our exercises. We get to be more creative.
I think it's cool how even though we're on quarantine, it's not stopping us from doing the play.
So that means you definitely have to mute yourself when you're not talking. You got to really pay attention, okay?
Sorry, my dogs were fighting.
That's okay. So, same.
Oh my gosh.
I think that was you then, Keldon. It was their chains jingling.
Yeah, they're fighting back there.
Can you put them in the room?
They're fighting.
They're going like head-to-head brawls. They're going.
Can you
always do this?
Can you put them in another room then?
Yeah, we're putting them outside.
Okay.
We're good.
Awesome.
I'll set it in the cage.
So let's start over.
It's great. Last year was great, and I could see that today we're going through some difficulties going through like the whole quarantine thing, and that it's kind of hard to do the things that we used to do. But it's not that bad, and I think that the experience and the play, once we actually get it done, is going to be great. Yeah. Shakespeare's good, kids.
Really just allowed me to express myself and be very artistic and kind of just find an outlet to be have fun and be random and just kind of like let out emotion in general. It's very calming thing.
And the king standing above you, look up at the king. Wow.
Yeah, okay. Forgot.
Yeah.
I can't really fit.
Good first impression. I'm
recording.
It's something new. It's not something that you're used to going like every Tuesday and Wednesday after school. You're already used to that. But like when we started on Zoom, it was like exciting and also nerve-wracking because you didn't know what to expect. And it was like something completely different than what we're used to. And so, yeah.
You get to see people in like their own environment instead of being forced into the school building. To see what kind of person they are just by looking around the scenario that they're in by the camera. The chaos. Plain and simple, the chaos that happened around the entire circle.
Be on mute.
All right, 1, 2, 3, struggle.
Freddy, he's a big chunky boy, but he's only like 3 years old. Smack.
Okay. Hands to the side. Everyone hands to the side. So Keldon, put it off the screen. Can't see your hands. Yep, that's good. And struggle. People are taking it off. And
one. It's a battle, man!
Actually, can we take it one more time from the beginning? And Mahari, right after Jackson's first line, I want you to smell your armpits.
Okay.
Alack, the king!
Ow, basis thing. Boy, and my if I this man affront the court, my worthiness that dies away, they're poison in my blood.
Well, you're like, there's some delay with your audio.
Definitely that we're able to see each other through all the mess that's happening, and that we're able to still have some sort of interaction with each other. Definitely when we when we were told that we were going to be getting hot food, we were expecting something great, and it ended up being the school food.
What is happening? What and why?
Make more noise, Rehab.
Yes!
Jump!
Want me to have my sister laying down to pretend she's Imogen?
So again, Jason, get the camera to you.
Mournful page, there lie thy part!
Oh, gentlemen, help! Oh, my lord Posthumus, you near killed Imogen till now! Help! Help!
Hi.
Hail heaven!
Yeah!
Can you give me like a big charging growl too?
Me and my character are pretty alike because we're both always making jokes about stuff.
Yeah, is there something you find more fun or something you like about doing it over Zoom?
Well, I could just sit in my room and not have to move at all.
Oh.
Seeing my friends.
It definitely boosted my confidence because I was always scared to go up on stage.
Last year I saw all the other plays and they were actually kind of good, and I'm like, what would I look like if I was in one?
Here's a box. I had it from the Queen. What's in it is precious. If you are sick at sea or stomach problems at land, a dram of this will drive away distemper.
All my little plans and schemes lost like some forgotten dreams. Seems that all I really was doing was waiting for you. just like little girls and boys playing with their little toys.
I just dropped every book on my desk.
Seems like all
And now a
they
dance!
were doing was waiting for a love. Don't need to be alone. No need to be alone.
Look at what you're wearing. You are a godly figure.
Yes, it's real love. Oh, it's real love. Yes, it's real love. From this moment on, I know exactly where my life will go. Seems that all I really was doing was waiting for love. Don't need to be afraid. No need to be afraid. It's real love. Yes, it's real love. Oh, it's real love. Yes, it's real love. Thought I'd been in love before, but in my heart I wanted more. Seems like all I really was doing was waiting for you.